G'day traders, it's Mindset Reset. It's free cash, non-farm payrolls Friday on the backside of the week. I want to congratulate traders. A lot of traders this week sat on their hands, were patient, but were able to execute on a couple of simple parabolic textbook playbook trading setups. Rinse and repeat, zero stress, zero thinking, zero emotion, and zero management without major red news being a factor, and scaled into those trade setups and significantly compounded their account only on a couple of trades. So again, congratulations to those traders. That is the name of the game, to execute easy money-making trading setups that you've done your homework on, that you have identified the best candidates, same setups, different instruments every single week for easy playbook trade setups. That's the whole point, to make trading a pursuit of pleasure. Now, I know a lot of traders have had some challenges this week, and as I spoke about earlier in the week, non-US dollar cross pairs can be a place to put your focus if you're trading currency. US dollar instruments that can be affected or high impacted from non-farm payrolls may potentially offer us some easy textbook playbook setups, which they did. But also on non-farm payrolls Friday itself, to not get caught into a science project. And the easiest way to find out if there's a science project, number one, is you either have an instrument that has a well-engineered weekly template, which there's only 3 or 4 of those, and it's not rocket science to try and read the chart. We're just looking for the templates. And then, of course, how does it set up on the day? And then, of course, there are 4 types of news release responses that I've spoke about previously. First, obviously, first minute of trade on a high impact like non-farm payrolls is we can have a first bounce opportunity. If there's a higher time frame setup, first bounce aligns us in a momentum-based explosive move back in line with the higher time frame. First bar typically will trap volume up higher, down low on the day in line with a higher time frame, and they won't come back because that allows traders that are caught on the wrong side of the market to get out of a losing trade. Then the third type is where we have wicks on both sides, explosive wicks both sides. You must wait at least until the next hour or avoid that market entirely, as it will either be a chop day or they're going to trap traders on one extreme of that wick in line with higher time frames before continuing, which is why the next hour or the hour after will be when that trade is on offer, if indeed that template sets up. And then, of course, the fourth kind is where there is no response, no high volatility, no major, erratic movement, and you go back to your original thesis on your normal time frame and trade that trade setup. As often we can get an entry prior to major red news. That candle will close, or the 5-minute candle will close, and we can re-enter that market now that the high impact news has been digested. Always, 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 though, in line with a higher time frame. Now, one of the things that's critical for traders, I really want to emphasize the importance of getting the headspace off of just going there every day, trying to catch the high and catch the low and read the chart. That's not a template. That's somebody trying to get a trade in a market where people will ask me questions about, why didn't it do this? Why didn't it do that? And I don't even know what you're talking about. What setup are you talking about? Which session? What type of template are you looking at? Are you looking at a 3-day template? Is it a first red day template? A first green day template? Is it 3 higher closes, 3 lower closes? 3 days of breakout traders. A great question from a trader is, does it always have to close and breakout for breakout traders to be in the market? No, it does not, because you can have a market that's counter trending, a higher time frame, breaking daily levels, whether in the long direction or the short direction. Again, we'll go over this. There is a playlist on breakout traders, but that counter trend breakout doesn't have to close and breakout. It can be 3 days of counter trending before continuing with the higher time frame trend. We can have a market that breaks out and closes in breakout one day and stays in range the next couple of days, but it's in breakout. That's different than 3 days successively closing in breakout. So that's important to understand. Doesn't matter if an instrument's breaking out, is there a template they're setting up for either a reversal or a continuation trade with the trend? The big thing is in the past spoken about building your muscle memory to the point where it's just so secondary. You can look at an instrument like it's Monday to Friday. People have been talking about cycles, sweeps, gaps, reading tea leaves, all these things. You either have a template that's rinse and repeat, or you have a science project. That's literally how it has to be. Because when you have a science project, now you're getting into the 50-50, the expertise of the trader who's going to trade the market. I'm looking for the template because I don't have to think. I want rinse and repeat, easy money making trade setups. And if I can't see that, I'm going and looking for the next instrument that has the same setup I traded last week, just a different instrument, whether that's in the long direction or the short direction. We have the front side of the week, we have the back side of the week. It's literally that simple. If you complicate it with a lot of other jibber jabber and confluences and cycles and sweeps and gaps and all these things, then the more variables that you add into the equation, the more variable your results will be. Now, each day, what is your process for filtering out an instrument? Do we have instruments that have already broken out? Do we have instruments that are in range, but we're breaking daily highs? We're breaking daily lows. We've closed in breakout. What type of template is it? We have an inside day. We have a first red day. Okay, well, what do my first red day trades look like? Are we still on the front side? A lot of traders wanted to short the NASDAQ because it had a down closing day in a market that's in breakout. Stop thinking about that you have to counter trend everything. Stop thinking that you have to counter trend a market that has a down closing day or an up closing day. Put it into context with what's happening. First red day, first green day. But is there a trade setup? If you're trying to counter trend all the time, you're going to miss the moves that are the range expansions, whether they're reversals or trend continuations. That's the really big message to deliver today. And we'll try and tackle that in the technical video this weekend. Because a lot of the big moves, which are driven by higher time frames, are not catching the high and catching the low, as we see on the NASDAQ today. It's an ACB. It's not coming back. Bitcoin, a fantastic reversal on Thursday, an unbelievable reversal on Thursday, but we also saw huge moves on the front side of the weeks on several of the crypto pairs. Ethereum, a beautiful trend trade continuation on Friday, day 3. On the back side of the week, we'll probably start identifying a bit more of that on crypto. Same setups. There's nothing different about crypto. Traders ask, what about the weekends? I ignore the weekends. Monday's the beginning. It's the opening range. But I put it into context with the higher time frame, the bigger picture. So it's easy to align that thesis with what's happening, especially when a new month starts. New month, new timing cycle. Sometimes traders are looking at markets, again, because they're their favorite instruments, but they're inside. 5-week reversal on pound, euro. Again, Hive week, Friday, non-farm payrolls. Not unusual to see that 4-day template set up where Monday, typically our opening range can form one of the extremes. And in this particular case, we saw the markets put in peak formation lows, I believe, on Tuesday, pumping up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, dumping down on Friday, Hive the week reversals. The key thing, and I know a lot of traders are doing extremely well, and there's some other ones that are finding it frustrating. The question I have for you then is, what do you find easy? So as I said to this trader last week, pick an inside day. There's nothing esoteric or subjective about that. There's lots of instruments every week that have inside days as a nature of a template, whether it's reversal, false break, trend trade opportunity. So with an inside day, again, you can take 1 or 2 of those a week. We saw a beautiful one on the euro. Absolutely fantastic. False break reversal into the low of the month. So put it into context with the higher time frame. Understand how that setup should present in the timing window. If it's already left the station, you get to New York and it left in London. So what? Look at a different instrument. But that's a really great one because it shows up frequently. It shows up on multiple instruments. And it shows up for the very same reason, either for trapping volume on one extreme, continuing with the trend, or as a reversal opportunity, triggering traders on the opposite side of the inside day. The big thrust always of these videos is the mindset, and this is why I keep hammering home simplicity. You will continue to find frustration searching for trying to figure out the tea leaves. But if you rinse and repeat, then you start to bulletproof yourself because you know you're executing simple, repeatable setups, real ones that I can show you a screenshot of, right? You've built your muscle memory. So when people talk about tea leaves, I want you to show me the tea leaf that you're going to see today. That's exactly what you've printed off. Then there's no analysis paralysis. Then there's no if this, then that. It's this is exactly what I'm looking for. And if I don't see that, there's no trade. Because when I see that, that's easy money. That's how it has to be. Now, I know I've talked about Steven. Steven can send, if I message Steven right now, he'll send me a dozen screenshots in less than 5 minutes of the exact same setup on a dozen different instruments. The exact same setup on a dozen different instruments. He doesn't talk about it could do this, it could do that, it might do this, and then later they could do that. And if the tea leaves are boiling over, I'll do this. This is exactly what happens on this type of setup, and that's what I'm looking for today. And these are the instruments that are coming up on my list to potentially offer me that candidate. Simple, simple. Then there's no impulsive trading. There's no anxiety. There's no analysis paralysis. There's no, fear of getting in or fear of getting out. Rinse and repeat. Just look for simple stuff. Simple stuff. Stay away from tea leaves. Stay away from chart readers and all this stuff. Let's just look for the simple stuff. I know that upsets some people, but you can make it simple or you can make it a science project. And the simpler you make it and you stick to the days and the setups where it's easy to make money, watch your trading account grow faster than you've ever seen it grow before. And then do nothing else in between. Learn to manage yourself. Get your routine, your daily process so fine-tuned that you just can get down to 3 or 4 instruments and then have a couple up on your chart. Be willing to execute 1 or 2 flawlessly, lock in the money and walk away and get on with your day. Not sitting around looking for more, catching moves. That's up to you. That's up to you. My job is to grow my trading account and my trading business. That's it. That is all my job is to do. It's not to take a lot of trades. It's not to trade every day. It's to execute when playbook trading setups show up where it's easy for me to make money. And the best way for you to grow your trading business is to stick to setups that rinse and repeat where it's easy for you to make money on and they show up frequently and they're scalable in size. Simple as that. And get on with your day. Have a great day, traders. Enjoy your weekends. Appreciate you. Love you. And may the markets go with you.